Welcome to Toffee TV. First of all, how's the sound doing tonight? Let us know.
It's a bit echoey.
Well, it's echoey in here.
Yeah, but it won't be there. Will it?
Where do people think we are? If the people want to tell us where we are, just move around a little bit.
Right, mate, you tell me where to move.
I feel like I'm right in the corner of the shot here. There's the camera there, so.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get this one.
If people would like to tell us where we are, have a little guess. There's not to win. Also tell us what it sounds like, because it is echoing here.
But that doesn't mean it's echoey.
Mate, on the stream.
On the screen.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
First one, it's Gaz Award.
Okay.
Hello, Gaz.
How is it? Let us know, because this is like live on the road.
It is on the road.
On the road again. I just can't help being on the road again. I really don't want to get into anything until people tell us what the sound's like.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? I'm just going to sing.
I wouldn't sing, just in case. Sound is sound from Steve.
Sound. So, sorry we missed the live show yesterday. It was a very, very busy day. A lot of stuff surrounding the film, Howard's Way. Baz interviewed Neville Southall in the morning. Well, it started in the morning. I think it finished in the afternoon at some point.
It did.
And
Steve Kelly guessed where we are.
Okay, well,
straight away.
And then we went to Goodison. That's what you told them.
I didn't.
Okay. Then we went to Goodison and we got some interviews there. And then we went to St George's Hall and we got some more interviews there. And then we watched the film and it was sound. And then they wouldn't let us in the after party. That's a different story. So we are, if you have not guessed, we are in the Viva buildings. We're in Everton's headquarters. Obviously, they give us the most glamorous room and drop back, which is the River Mersey up there.
It is, look at it.
You can see the lights of the Wirral.
The Wirral.
The Wirral, they're the lights of the Wirral, right there.
I know.
So
looks great, actually. Look at that low lit up there.
Ooh.
Oh, it looks
There's
right.
a little Christmas thing out there, which looks really awful.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Does it look awful? It's got looks like an ice rink.
Yeah.
Oh, it is an ice rink?
Yeah, it is an ice rink.
It's an ice rink.
It's not like an ice rink.
So there you go.
It is an ice rink.
And all of us seen it.
Yeah, so
There you go.
what are the people's thoughts on the whole weekend?
I mean, literally.
I still feel like I'm suffering actually from the weekend.
It just
I
says...
feel like I can't really...
Hey, here we go.
You got the Wi-Fi?
There's Big P Cat. Oh yeah, I have actually. Would be probably quicker.
Wi-Fi.
Paul Cattrall, hello Paul, says, afternoon Evertonians, just ordered my Howard's Way DVD, can't wait to watch it, it is incredible. Oh, and by the way, you're not allowed to have any days away from making videos.
Sorry, we didn't have any days away from making videos. We made a lot of videos yesterday. We just had...
They're just not out.
They're just not out and we didn't do a live video. But we did say we weren't going to do a live video on Thursday, so...
You weren't listening. I mean, that who's really to blame in that? You or us?
Your ears. Barry Stevens says, sounds fine. Steve Hardy says, bit echoey, but that's what you would expect in Baz's second property, large second property.
There you go, what can you say?
Steve Hardy says, second, that's supposed to say. Okay, I know. I got that. I guess that's the first time. Yeah, so we've come down to the... we come down for a meeting, which we can't talk about. It's not really exciting, but we just can't talk about it. And they were like, come for a meeting, and we were like, we will, but we demand to do our live show here. And they were like, well, you don't really have to demand it, it's fine, you can do it, don't worry about it. We've got loads of spare rooms, it's 5 o'clock at night, everyone's gone home. I mean, although out there is someone doing makeup for Mac.
I know, that was mad. I didn't know whether it was just us, we were getting some.
Well, someone actually said, I was speaking to someone, they went, you wear makeup anyway. And I went, well, that's the game with it, what you expect? You know what I mean?
I mean, if we wore makeup, if we did a makeup channel, I mean, look at that fella, literally shut down Birmingham because he could do makeup.
To be fair, most people would like to shut down Birmingham.
No, I know.
I mean, don't hate the play, hate the game. Do you know what I mean?
No, but...
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying.
We're in the wrong game.
I was actually watching one of the YouTube videos today and it was like, fella who was like, get to 100,000. And he was like, at first I was wearing makeup when I started because I thought that's what you're supposed to do because it was just like TV. It was like, no mate, it's not TV, it's YouTube. He's like, I had scripts. He was like, you idiot.
You silly boy.
Bullet points maybe.
Kane asking where the FRUs. We're at the Liver Buildings, Royal Liver Buildings, Kane.
You've been here, Kane.
Everton HQ.
You've been here. You know the drill.
Not as much as us, but you know.
I mean, second home.
Second home now.
For you, third home.
Third home for me. I mean, I literally live here. Steve said, the film was amazing. Do you think the team have watched Howard's Way? I really hope they have.
I don't think it matters. I've seen a few people say that.
At the end of the film, I got emotional myself because it made me think how amazing it would have been to watch that team. Made me want success even more now. What it made me was sad. It made me frustrated a little bit because you're seeing how good that team was. And I know we're gonna do a section on this on the podcast about the thing, but it's a film for any Evertonian. Every Evertonian has got to watch it, in my opinion. They've got to watch it because it reminds you said before, it reminds you of standards that this club should always be held in.
Did you put the cheese topic up, by the way?
No. So that will be out.
Did you get the other video?
I've got the other video out on there for you.
Okay.
The Tuesday topic has been handbrake. In fact,
we'll do it after this.
Yeah.
Can't do it now. Do it after this.
I mean, literally, I'll do it when I get home. I'll do it after this, will I? But it'll be out. It won't be long. And that's what it made me.
You stay? Wi-Fi?
Yeah, but I'm sitting here for another.
What's it upload it?
Yeah.
What, 2 minutes?
We'll do it now.
I can't because we're streaming live.
All right, well, shut up then. And it was just that reminder that when you've got a collection of players who are driven to that. Listen, we've got a WhatsApp group which you shouted at us this morning for talking about it, but we were talking about, again, there's a couple of lads in our WhatsApp group who I love, but they're like a broken record with the manager.
Name shame.
Andy, the Piv, and Steve Leary, who's a great, Steve's great, but
is he a patron?
He is a patron.
Okay, so he's a great person.
So he's a great lad. And the problem is with that is I think they're too fixated on. I mean, there's someone else in this room who I think's calmed a bit, but is fixated on everything stops. It's the manager's fault. And I think what that film does, realistically, and to be fair, you've even changed your viewpoint very slightly. What? Is that it isn't just about the manager, and that film tells you that. And you know what? There's a lot of similarities in what was going on then and what is happening now. And I'm not saying for 1 minute the outcomes will be the same, but I'm just saying there was a lot of similarities in what was going on at that time and what is happening now in terms of having younger players in a team.
I agree with that side of it. There's bits I do agree with, there's bits I don't agree with. I don't generally think showing the video to the players would make an ounce of difference. It depends if they want to take anything from it. That's the problem. That's the key. I think that's the problem though, isn't it? I think a lot of them are like, well, why are you showing us this? This is then and this is now, and you're insulting our intelligence by saying we don't care and stuff like that. I think you know what you would show them for, genuinely. What I would show the players for is to see how fans would react if we won something. Because that doesn't change. What about the scenes when we were bringing trophies back and you forget about that? How many people, but they go on about this city, there was 27 million turned up. You just look at Everton coming back by St George's Hall and going down the Queen's Drive and everywhere, it was rammed, and that's what it would be like again. Everyone would want to see it, and I suppose that aspect would. Yeah. What I think it would do is remind the players just how big this football club is. You heard them talking about it in that film, saying, you know, you get there and you realise what's going on. Now, do they realise what a big football club this is? I think that's what it would be good for, is to just show them a little bit of history so they understand the club. And I think that, to be fair, I think Kane alluded to something like this on Twitter, and he said it's about time we stopped looking back and started looking forward. And I do agree with that to a point. But I think that team is so unique in what... Listen, most football clubs, right, you only have to look at football and you look at longevity, and most football teams' longevity comes down to the manager. If a manager stays, it stays, and when the manager goes or he runs out of ideas, that's when it goes. And then it's about finding that next fella, and we have never really found that next fella. Joe Royle looked like he could have been it, but circumstances were against him, and so it's not always on the club as a whole. Sometimes it can just come down, and we've been very lucky in that. Big clubs tend to find the solutions maybe a generation after. Someone will come and you get back to winning ways. You've seen it with Liverpool now.
It's the determination to get
you've seen
there.
You've seen it with Man United now, from where they've come from, with what we've all grown up with them being. It's just that this is the longest period in Everton's history. And I do think what this film just reminds you of, whether you want to say, oh, it's a history lesson, we should stop looking back, we need to stop. I absolutely agree with that, but I do think at times people do need to be reminded of the potential of this football club. But as that goes along and that gets further away, then there is a case to say you've just got to leave that in the past, because that is a completely different age. I don't think we're quite there yet, because I still think, you know, people like myself and Baz who grew up with that are still shouting about standards, and until maybe we get to a point where we're like, well, what's the point anymore, then like sort of where Newcastle are now, where they've all, and that's the point. Look at Newcastle now, and it's funny because I used to hate Newcastle for that, where they were like, this is what we expect, this is who we are, and now they're just like beaten into a point where they're just like, we expect nothing now, and I'd absolutely hate it if that becomes us, where we just go,
the point with Newcastle was though, they didn't have any standards.
No, I know.
We did, and that's the thing, is that Everton have won it. This is the longest period in our history without a trophy. We've won a trophy in every decade, up to the turn of the century, and since 2000s, this is the longest period. So that is the standard. I understand what Kane's saying to a point, but you've got to look back, because that's where your standards are. Our motto is Latin from years and years and years and years and years and years and years ago. You have to have that motto. And listen, everybody has to have that motto, and having Neville Southall in the studio for 3.5 hours yesterday, he was very forthright in his comments, and I've seen a couple of people trying to like rip him on Twitter and stuff, but as far as I'm concerned, they're missing the point of what he's saying. Now okay, he might come out with something outlandish every now and again, but if you speak to him, he actually believes what he's saying. He's been there and done it.
It's not outlandish though, because another thing I'll take from the film, and Steve Hardy's mentioned that he said, got a bit of dust in my eye watching Howard's way, when Colin was talking about Howard's passing away. And Colin now is a big part of the film, and I think one of the things that is said in the film, just while we're on it, is the standards that Colin Harvey brings to the first team, that he'd been putting through the reserves. Now, his standards came from being part of Harry Catterick's team that won trophies and then won the league. He knew what it meant, or what it took to win a league title. He knew about how hard it was for a young player to get in the first team and stay in the first team. He knew all about that. So when he became a coach, he took that in and said, you know, this is how hard you have to work. So this is what I expect, because I want to win. So therefore this is how hard we've got to work. And unfortunately, for too long, we've forgotten about that. And what Neville is great at, and this is where people go, oh, he's talking nonsense. It's that he's a free thinker. He's a person who thinks differently to other people, and that's easy to ridicule, because everyone just goes, oh, there's no chance that you'll win something. And it depends how you explain it sometimes as well. I was telling you before, or we were talking about before, about Aidan Durham was someone Tom Davis. And he was saying Tom Davis could be anything he wanted, and he's got a great chance, and he really should have just left it there. But then he started comparing him to Steven Gerrard. He could be better than Gerrard, and the minute he said that, then you're going to get all the lunatic fringe, aren't you? From Everton and Liverpool, if you look at the comments, saying, what are you talking about, he'll never be as good, you're a joke, blah blah blah, completely undermining his own point. And of course he does it on purpose, because he wants people to ring in, he wants Reds to ring in and just have a go at Tom Davis, basically, to say he's crap, and then get Blues involved, and we fall for the trap, and it's
ratings, isn't it?
We fall for the trap. Don't ring up and go, Tom's good, but he'll never be as good. Neville's a free thinker, and I've spoken to him in the past, and there are things he says where you just go, you're talking absolute nonsense, like you're talking mad. But what he's saying is like, if you don't think like that, you're never ever going to break through. You never, someone at the club. We've talked for years about the club thinking too small, and staying within this little bubble and going, no, we're fine, we're happy to be the people's club, and the people, the club, the people in the city go and watch, and our club and all that, and yet other clubs are world thinkers, they think bigger, and that's why they get the glory, because they're saying, no, we're going to go to tour America and tour Australia and blah blah blah, because we understand that we do have fans there, and we've got to look after them, then we've got to generate money in that way. We don't, we're happy saying, you know what, we're just going to stay in our little bubble. I think that's what Neves just alludes to, is that he knows what it takes to be the best. You know, he's not someone who was given anything for free.
No.
He had to work hard. He was a hog carrier. He worked on building sites and played non-league and then worked his way up, and then coming to Everton's team and then played in horrific games of football. Had to experience the other side, and then was like, you know what, I know what it takes to work hard, what it takes to get to the top, and that's working hard and believing that you are going to succeed in something. And I don't think there's enough people and amongst the fan base who actually believe Everton can crack it, because it's hard to visualise something. It's difficult to have faith in something that keeps on letting you down. It really is. And sometimes you've got to experience something before you can believe in it. Seeing is believing. I'll believe we can win at Anfield when I watch us win at Anfield. Because that's where we've been.
But everybody should believe it when going into it. Them players, Neville Southall said this yesterday to me, and the video will be out later, so make sure you check it out, was that every game's a one-off. And too often people go into games with records in their mind, or players in their mind, or worrying about a run of form, when every time you step onto a football pitch, it's a one-off. It's 11 lads v 11. Anything can happen on that day. If you both put everything into that game, then the other team might have a little bit more quality and win through. But how many games of football have we seen where people have played and they've beaten? Norwich City beat Manchester City this season. Norwich City. Because those lads probably just turned up and went, it's a game of footy. It's 11 v 11. Yeah. We're going to take our chance. Now, Everton don't get those results because Everton don't believe. The players don't believe. The fans don't believe. But what Neville was saying to me was when they went to Anfield and beat Liverpool in 84, 85, we hadn't won there for 14 years. Right? Liverpool were the best team in Europe. And nobody gave us a chance going there that day. But they knew. They knew, the players knew themselves, they were onto something. And he said, we treated it as a one-off. We went there and went, it's a game of footy. Let's test ourselves against these. Let's get in the faces. Let's do what we do well. Little things like Howard Kendall had got the ball, the Adidas ball that Liverpool were using, and started using it that week. And the players went out confident, and Graham Sharp scores a wonder goal. Everybody does the job. We win the game. There's mad celebrations. What does Nev do? Pick his bag up and jog off. Straight off the pitch, down the tunnel. He said, every game, why not? He said, another thing he said, which was I was telling you before, right, was that players go into training and train for an hour or an hour and a half, and then they're done, and then they go home. Where you've got tennis players and golfers and people in other sports, tennis players are the real key for me, because they are on court for 4 hours sometimes. They are well fitted in Premier League footballers because they have to be, the exertion and all that, and yet they train for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours sometimes to do it.
Funny enough, I seen it. What was it on the other day?
But if you practice something for an hour a day, are you good? Are you good enough?
Also, John Parrott was on an old episode of Pointless.
Oh yeah.
And he said, how long do you practice for a day? And he went, 7 hours a day. He said, because if I don't, I notice the drop off when I come to the tournaments.
I've known John Parrott since I was a kid. My dad was in the same snooker team as him when he was like 14 playing and stuff. So I've known John all my life. And him and my dad would go to Dudley and he'd play for 6 hours, John. He'd just practice, set it up, break, set it up, break, set it up, break. It's a snooker player. Why? To get better and better and better. These footballers come in, do an hour training or an hour and a half training, go and do whatever they do, go home. Why are we expecting them to be perfect at the weekend? And yet people like Ronaldo, who's 34 and still scoring goals, go and watch any video he's in, go and watch him train. Messi, go and watch them. They do over and above to perfect their sport, and that's why they're the best, and they've been the best for so many years, because they work and work and work and work. They don't go in, do an hour and go, I'm in the red zone, I can't train now. Ronaldo's a friggin' lunatic. Sit-ups and press-ups and eats, 300 calories a day or whatever he does, to make sure he's in peak fitness, peak level. Do Everton players put everything they've got into that? I don't know. But if they did, I'm going back to Neville Southall. He used to get in at 8 o'clock in the morning and dive around in a bleeding sandpit. And then he'd train, and then he'd go and do his own work in the gym afterwards. And he'd go around, and then when he felt like he'd done enough, 4 o'clock or something, he'd go and ride a bike home or something or whatever. And it's no coincidence then that he became the greatest goalkeeper in the world.
Because he wanted to be.
Because he wanted to be.
Ronaldo's a brilliant example. He wanted to be the best, so he does the best. And listen, don't get me wrong, some players now, they're not allowed to do that because they're told to get in for different reasons. Tom Davis, the stuff that's been said about him in the last few weeks about how he's an animal at the training ground. But
he's doing extra.
He's doing extra. He's listening to what they say. I mean, number one, they've told him certain things that he needs to start doing or not do. Which is good. That's good. That's what you need. You need to have a game plan. Someone needs to tell you what you're doing wrong before you can get stuff right. It's no one thing. And that's a big part of coaching. Someone coming up to you going, you're doing it the wrong way. You need to do it this way. And that's not just that's not just technical, that's Tingo as well, isn't it? That's temperaments and everything as well. So and he's looked so much better and getting more out of himself.
Derek Hultman on Patreon rather says, good evening guys, has Holgate solved the problem? I for one am made up with the lad. He is taking his chance and looks the real deal. Mason Holgate's doing well, isn't he?
I think what he's done is, I think he's stopped the need for two centre-backs, to buy two centre-backs. He stopped that need completely.
Back to one, isn't it?
Now we just need one.
Yeah.
Whereas beforehand you were a little bit like, I think we might need two here, but I think we need one now. So
what would be really interesting is, you know, if we did buy another one, then where does Michael Keane fit in? It's up to him to try and battle back in then, isn't it? And that's levels, isn't it? Again, that's what the manager, I think what we've seen in the last few weeks is the manager finally putting some markers down to people and going, enough's enough now. You work hard, you're getting judged on training, you turn up late, you get, you know, it's just something someone's mentioned, you're out the side. So, Gary Ward says Rick and Morty are back.
I'm aware, I've watched it. I'm still trying to break into Disney Plus, aren't I? So, basically, you know, Disney Plus come out today, but only come out in America, right?
Right, yeah.
So I had to get a VPN, right? So someone boxed me up for the VPN. So then I managed to get into Disney Plus, and then they're like, you've got to pay. So I'm like, you've got to pay PayPal. So it's hard to pay PayPal, and they were like, no, because it's registered in the UK, you idiot. So now I've got my mate Adam to set me up a PayPal account in the States, right? And then when I went in to do before, it's asking for a card to go with it, and obviously all my cards are registered in the UK, so I will get there.
Can't Aaron do it? You just set up a direct debit to Aaron.
Like asking that. That's
yeah, but if you're direct debiting him the day before he's direct debiting, it's not an issue.
I know. I'll sort that all out later on. But if anyone's got it out there, Mandalorian, is there a plug for this? Because it's about to die. It's about to die. Don't tell me there's no plug. Don't tell me you forgot to bring the plug.
At last the plug in.
Are you sure?
Oh my God.
Did you not bring the plug? Because it will die in about 10 minutes. Oh, Baz has destroyed the stream.
I actually wrapped the plug up and I don't know whether I've put it in. Which is
really the only thing we need. Only thing we need.
Oh my God.
Baz has killed.
I've killed it.
Baz has killed the stream. We're only going to get like half an hour.
Oh my God.
Because Baz has killed the stream.
I wrapped the plug up.
Let's not waste time looking for it.
No, right, okay.
Get on with the comments.
We'll have to do it live off the phone if the worst comes to the worst.
Let's see what's happening here.
Kane said the Sky over-exaggerating Gomez and Sterling, in your opinion.
In my opinion? Yeah, of course, they've got nothing else to talk about.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with a good scrap.
Steve Kelly says our motto we want, but do the people above want it?
No, because it's a hindrance.
Okay. People criticising Nev don't like the truth rather, end the story. That's from Steve Kelly, Owen Parks.
Coming to some kind of dark
I know, I was wondering it. Owen Parks says, hey lads, how are you doing? Hey, how you doing? We're alright, Owen, how are you?
Just if you leave your name and your number, we'll get Sean Dyche to ring you.
I mean, to be fair,
you know what I mean?
to be fair,
you know what I mean?
that was class.
Ian Lyon says, even though it's a great weekend, it's a good feeling to know that we can win away. Still think Snarden's not good enough to be in our team. Also, do you think Moyes needs a watch? Yeah.
Yes.
Barry Stevens says, by turning up late twice, Moyes Keane has made Graham Sourpuss look like he actually knew what he was on about. Well,
I mean,
is turning up late a couple of times proving you've got a bad attitude, or does it just prove you're just a little bit stupid and a little bit silly? And you know, listen, bad attitude. There's a bad. People are all. I'm here and there with Moyes Keane. He'll either make it or he won't. But if he doesn't make it, I don't think it'll come down to timekeeping. He won't be the first. There's a thing today about Kante. Apparently he's always late. He's a senior professional. Apparently he's always late to meetings.
And think he's just get fined $2,500 every time you're late to training, and I think team meetings is like 20 grand or so.
Delafeu used to be late all the time.
Delafeu was late for everything.
For training every day, but he used to get away with it. And that's where Koeman just had enough of him apparently. Martinez used to let him off.
Yeah.
The fact that Moyes Keane isn't being let off is a good sign. Maybe he's been getting away with it for years. And now it's like, no, you're not getting away with it. And that's good. I like that. But I want it to stop then. I don't want it to become a thing. Because if it does become a thing, he won't play and then he'll leave the club.
But it's down to him, isn't it?
But I don't get this bad attitude thing, because I don't think...
No, what else I don't get when people go, he'll be off in January now. Why? He's got to sign the 5-year deal, going anywhere. Forget about it. Dave Wiles says, never mind not winning trophies this century, there are also some grounds we've not won at this century. All comes down to mentality. The 80s team had that winning mentality, and sadly it's been lacking since. Yeah. Mark G says, lads, settle a debate that's popped up on numerous Everton-related sites. Do we have a £500 million squad, roughly the amount we spent since Moshiri took over, or a £200 million squad, brand signings, with £300 million of the previous spend barely factor into Brand's plans moving forward? Plans. Well, I'm not going to be hypocritical and say that it's only since Brands has been here. The reality is, you probably can look at it and go, it's only since Brands has been here. But Everton have still spent 450 million since Moshiri took over. So 450 million should get you better than what we've got. Yeah. However, if you're a Red, you're doing net spend, aren't you? And it's probably back to about 200 million. So it's whichever way you look at it, Mark. The reality is we've spent a lot of money and we should be doing better. That's the top and bottom of the whole thing, isn't it? Regardless. Kane Forshaw says, nothing wrong with setting standards, lads. I've been brought up with them too. I got shit in school for making out Everton were a big club just after Liverpool won the Champions League and lost in Athens. However, our most successful period as a football club was ages ago, and I'm not saying it needs to be forgotten, but I'm saying we need to be looking at what we need to do to be like that again, rather than living like we are still the team in the 80s. Let's be honest, we aren't. Ask any fan in this league, they call Everton a mid-table team. It's sad. We need to focus on the future a bit more and be honest rather than living in the past. We used to give Liverpool fans stick for it too. You're right. You're absolutely right, Kane, but you can't allow your standards to slip. And those standards for me are that team in the mid-80s, because that was the team I was brought up on. That is my standard. So I'm never going to settle for something less than I have to, because that's my team.
And also that tells you what your standards are.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying, Kane, is like show some of the fans what our standards are, because this is what I was saying about every generation. There was a player or a coach from the last generation that we could all sort of look at. Put it this way, right? If Duncan Ferguson or Tim Cahill had won loads of trophies at Everton and this team weren't doing well, right? If they come on the telly and said, this is not good enough, it would carry weight. Because they didn't win trophies, Duncan won one, but because they didn't win trophies, it doesn't really carry any weight. And that's why Liverpool players have been on the TV forever, is because every generation of their players, and this is why when you see people like Danny Murphy, you just have to laugh your head off, but he did win trophies, that's again, mad. Is that you look at them and just go, well, they've won stuff with Everton players, they don't carry any weight, and that's the problem. Oh, this player had a great career, well, they might have in our eyes, and they might have some special moments. We're at a point now where probably you, as a, like, young 20s, looks at it and goes, I can't identify with these people. These are not my... So anything they say might seem a little bit stupid to you, but not stupid. But I think there's definitely, and maybe when they talk you don't listen, but if you were to watch this film, then you might go, I want a bit of that. I want some of that. And you know what, I hope it does.
Especially as a Blue Cane who goes everywhere, you look at those scenes and look at the fans everywhere in that. You see the real footage. It's incredible, mate, honestly.
But that's the point. It's not saying, oh, look at us harping back. What we're saying about it more than anything is that watch it and go, I want some of that. And then it doesn't just... we were saying we've done a little thing as well, a little video, get it out later. It's not a season review. It's not a two-season review. It's a study in how they got there, what it took. And that's what I'm saying. If you watch that and go, that's what it takes. Like I was watching it thinking, and even though you know it on some players, but you give them the benefit of the doubt, I was thinking to myself, I was going, that player is alright coming in now and again, but he's not a winner. That player's not a winner. So therefore, we can't do with that player. Like in the film, one of the things you notice, one of the things that's on a lot is Richardson and Harper. They're the two subs. And they would do anything for this football club and run through brick walls, and they're the subs. So everything above them, everyone else is trying to keep them out the team. They're like, they have a boss game one week and then they're out the team the next week, and they're knocking on the manager's door. But it's up to everyone else to keep them out the team. That's standards, isn't it? Yeah. That is standards. That's what I'm saying. You shouldn't look at it and go, oh, we're living in the past. You should look at it and go, this is what it takes to win trophies.
Be the very best you can be. That's the message. I don't think enough Everton.
It is from Gillette.
Trying to do, but it is. Steve Kelly says, loved Eggsy's comments saying when he went to Anfield it was just another game for him and the team. Well, it was, because that's how they viewed it, because they were in it. Derek Hulton says, I get exactly what you're saying, guys, about the standards of the club. This is exactly why our club captain needs to be Tom Davis. He's blue through and through. He understands our history as it's drilled into him all his life. I understand supporters' views. We've never seen our club win a trophy, but you have to believe 100% when you walk on those terraces, the players feel how we feel. It's called atmosphere, and we as supporters... Sorry, where are we? We as supporters are responsible to help create it every week alongside the players. We are a team, we are a club, we move as one, and that's what gets you through every game and wins you trophies. Absolutely right, Derek, absolutely right. Steve Kelly says, thanks, Ped, on the order of watching Marvel. Just finished watching Iron Man. Bill Cummings says, how many do we need in January? For me, it's a centre-back, centre midfielder and a striker on loan, depending if we can move someone. Well, they're the three you'd like. They're the three positions we definitely need. I don't know whether we'll get that, but certainly I reckon another centre-back and maybe an experienced forward would be good, but then it depends what happens with Tosin. But I do think we need another mobile centre midfielder, but it's up to Delph, isn't it, I suppose? But even with him, you know, maybe that, but we'll see. Where are we? Bill Cummins says, also, how do I get a patron discount on a Toffee TV t-shirt? Gonna buy some for Christmas.
When you buy something, send the receipt to me or message us the receipt, and then we'll refund you the difference. That's the only way we can do it now, because we're in the hands of a third party, but we'll make sure you get it, don't worry, mate.
Owen Park says, Sean Dyche leathered Pellegrini on Saturday. Let's be honest, he's the ginger Mourinho.
I'm not being funny, I could leather him. You're talking about Pellegrini.
Yeah.
You're talking about Pellegrini.
You're talking about a fella that just probably goes to training and puts his slippers on and has his pipe, has 84 ciggies in his office. That's what he looks like. Looks like he can't be arsed doing anything, let alone managing West Ham with the Dildo Brothers. Got the Dildo Brothers.
You're allowed to say Dildo Brothers, aren't you?
Don't know.
Okay. You have anyway, I mean.
I've said it, so it's a bit late.
I
have. Never a problem. Stephen Kelly said, I loved how much Reed and Gray were saying Harper and Richardson were the most important players in that team. Well, Steve, you were there, so you've seen the Q&A after it, and you could see that they weren't the only two that said Richardson and Harper, were they? If you remember it, there was a couple of them. Peter Reid, yeah, you said Reed and Gray, and there was Thingy as well.
Neville's the big one.
Neville said it at the very, very start, and he says it in the film. That's how important they were, and they were our subs. So, listen, without them, it doesn't happen. does it? It's about driving forces. They were the driving force. Kevin Richardson was a hell of a player, absolute hell of a player.
He was a hell of a player.
Scored our first goal on live the year we won the league at Chelsea away in the silver kit. Scored key goals for Everton. He scored 2 at Southampton. We won at the Dell 2-1 after Christmas. You know, he scored big goals for us, semi-final against Aston Villa. I mean, I actually asked him about the hand, don't touch me, when he scored. I didn't realise they'd showed that in the film. And he was like, I fell over and it broke my wrist in the game and I had it strapped up and I didn't want anyone jumping on me. So those players were the ones who drove everybody else on, him and Harper. And as
this has got 1% on it, by the way. So if it goes off, I'm going to try and put it on this. Okay. I'm just telling you now, if it goes off...
If it goes off, bear with for a couple of minutes.
And if we can't get it back on, we'll tell you.
We'll stay in touch.
We literally brought everything except for the motor.
I wrapped the laptop charger. To be honest, I thought my own charger was in, and I wrapped the studio laptop charger, and I thought I'd put it in the front of my bag.
Definitely.
And for some reason, it's probably slid out my bag in the car. For some reason, yeah. I don't know. I keep looking around in the hope I see it, but it's not there. It's never good, it's never good. Quick, make it go live right now. Live at 5, tell a friend. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Come on.
Oh, come on now. 3.
Yes!
Guess who's back?
Is it working? I don't know if it's actually working now.
No, it's...
We look very still.
Moved.
Okay.
Serious? We're back.
Are we back?
Are we back? Tell a friend.
Guess who's back?
Steve Kelly said you're back. Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
Get on the magic.
I mean...
Will it be magic now? Now! This room's perfect for this.
It is, but...
I feel like Robbie's in the room.
I feel as though there's
Or Barry Manilow. What are you feeling?
I feel as though like there's a meeting going on and I'm just hoping we're not echoing into them.
Me be the man the...
They'll be standing there. They'll be standing there thinking...
They'll be like, where's Barry?
Where's Barry Manilow?
Manilow.
Manilow.
What else is going on? Come on, what else is going on?
I don't know, because is it on the same thing?
Is it? Yeah, it's streaming. We're streaming off the same thing.
It's not. It's just said, I mean, no one else.
You got your Wi-Fi?
I haven't moved.
Alright, just say hello.
Hello, it's me.
It should be going off the same.
I'm wondering if
Exactly the same. Yeah, look.
Time you like to me.
When it goes, its face looked like he was farting.
Nice.
Who said maybe didn't freeze, maybe doing the far freeze challenge. Maybe we've just started that.
Don't do it.
You freeze and you go.
No. Don't, because I'll be gone.
I'm doing the far freeze.
Oh, okay. Well, don't do it. Don't make something better than that.
Ian Lyons in the 80 team was scared to play our... In the 80 team, was scared to play our team, and we need that toughness to be instilled in our team. Now, I have to say thank you to the Blues for fantastic remembrance of Goodison at St Mary's. There you go. So I need to turn that off because it's taking too much... I need to delete that one. The CPU's not as good on my laptop because someone won't buy me a Mac. Thanks, Baz. I've got one. I wouldn't mind with a bottle around, but it's not really taken around me.
The greatest one, an iMac. Well, we're still waiting for Stu at Ball Street to send the other one up. Well, maybe we might be waiting a while. Well, maybe we just need to message
What else is going on? Come on.
I mean, what do you want me to say? All the comments? Well, where are they? I've refreshed 46 times. You need them on
Gary Waters, you're back.
I know it does. I've said it. You're back. Big ass. Mark G said, just subscribe to The Athletic thanks to your relentless encouragement. Besides being a patron on here, it's the best $35 I've spent this year. Everyone should get on to it. So it's up to you. You can either spend $35 on The Athletic or you can just pay us.
Just don't leave us. Ever.
Tell a friend. Just tell your friends. To get involved.
I was a clown who be messing around, but that doesn't mean that you have to leave town.
Come back.
Give us a feeling.
No. I'm very aware of where I am.
There's a office
There's
there.
a vent there.
No, there's an office there.
I know, and then there's
no
one.
one in it.
I
There's
know.
a big room. Imagine they were all sitting there in a presentation, all they can hear.
It's going through.
Bye.
Next time, so you can do live Q&A from the... No, you can't.
No.
Because
Barry
you...
Baxendale was up on the desk with that. There you go.
But that doesn't mean...
Has anyone got Disney Plus? Let me know. I want to know.
that you have to leave town,
Didn't we do a whole thing about what we thought on the Tuesday topic?
Yeah, we did. We did.
You could have watched it.
You could have watched it. We could have watched it if it wasn't driving to town. I was handbraking it. It finished. I packed everything up, got in my car.
T-Logic 1991 says, bright lads thoughts on Arsenal are happy with Aubameyang talking to Arsenal Fan TV. Should clubs embrace fan channels? No, clubs shouldn't embrace them. Of course they should embrace them. Of course they should.
Yeah, but I think he's the new captain.
You're supposed to get permission,
right? No, it's not just that.
What did he say to
He's been speaking to troops, hasn't he? Right? So he's the captain.
Yeah, he's not.
And I don't know, he's the new captain, he does have Shaka. Aubameyang's the captain. Now, I don't know in what context it is, but if it's... I've seen the way he interacts with BVB and Brixton over stuff. So if he's starting to... If troops, and I don't know whether this is right, but if troops have said something like, well, bollocks, we've got no backbone, and he's answering back, it's not...
I'd seen that...
I don't know if that's happened, by the way.
I'd seen that Lacazette, and I don't know if it was Lacazette and Aubameyang had favoured some anti-Jihad Instagram posts, I think. So I mean, that's naughty.
Well, maybe if Arsenal Fan TV have done that and they favoured, I don't know.
I think that's a bit naughty, but yeah, football. I mean, listen, we're sitting inside Everton's headquarters right now. I mean, we may not have permission, but we're doing it anyway.
But we have got permission.
You can't just keep the suspense going.
No, because you say it like we're doing something. You make it out then like they're not.
It's an air of mystery. Like the military man.
Well, it would have been an air of mystery if we wouldn't ever said where we were.
No, you've got to reveal where we are. You want to pick it up.
Well, that's not an air.
I'd be like, boss, be like, we should put out like, we're in Everton headquarters somewhere, and they have to come find us. I mean, you know
exactly.
No, they should embrace, and I think the other football clubs to embrace, it's how they do it.
Only some. They only embrace some fan channels.
Like,
not all of them.
No, not all of them. I mean, only the good ones.
Yeah.
People actually watch.
Yeah.
Well, I think it all comes down to what the football club can get out of it, and what is in it for, is it worth the while, the fan channel. It can't just be, lip service, so do you want this player, and he'll say, oh, this club's great, and I love everyone. It's got to be real. It's got to be in the context of what the fan channel does. And that's what you hope, isn't it? You hope that you get an opportunity to speak to a player or a manager or a coach or whatever, that they appreciate that you're not just there to spin the club line, and it is going to be real, and it is going
to trip them up though.
No,
it works both ways.
It's not tripping them up. It's about walking to a situation where you know what the tone is going to be. I would say, you know that if there's things to be said, let's just say them. Let's just get them out there. Let's not, I don't know how far we are away from actually embracing it. I do believe that at some point one football club will go, you know what, let's just get on board and let's meet them halfway and do a bit of both and see where it ends up. I don't think it'll ever end up with people being ridiculously over the top about players and stuff like that, because that's never going to sit well with football clubs. But
what value is that?
That's what I'm saying. So just meet them halfway, so that you're getting good in-depth interviews from the point of view of a fan or people who watch a lot of the games.
Listen,
rather than what clubs tend to do is try and sugarcoat everything. So we'll see what happens.
But stay tuned to Patreon for some very exclusive interviews that will be happening over the next few weeks. So sit back and enjoy. You'll only be able to see the full stuff on Patreon. There'll be snippets that we'll put out on YouTube probably, but for the full hit, you need to be a patron. So there you go, you've been warned. Steve Kelly says, I know it's something we've discussed. I know other sports do it. So why is it you think more clubs don't have mentors from other generations helping players, i.e. Big Nev?
People are scared of the job. Definitely.
But couldn't he be the way Matthias Sammer is a consultant, external consultant for Dortmund? Couldn't they just be?
If you were Favre at Dortmund, would you worry that he was coming in every month to talk about the problems of the club?
That's every couple of
This is what I'm saying, no, this is what I'm saying with the club. Saying, oh, you just work for us, and this guy works for us. You don't. That's what I'm saying with football clubs. They've embraced that. How many football clubs do you think would embrace that? If someone said that to you and you didn't know he'd done that, you'd probably go, no one's doing that. It's like when players, it's like now, like Rooney's coming into Derby County. Everyone will be saying, if the other fella, Kaku has a bad month, people will be going, oh, it's Rooney, and that's why sometimes. Football clubs are reluctant to sign some senior players.
But what I'm saying to you is though, and what Steve's saying there, in mentors, so say Southall was appointed a mentor for the Everton goalies, and he met with them 3 times a year, say, or 4 times, every 3 months, or once a month, or every. That doesn't necessarily mean he's stepping on the goalkeeper coach's toes, because the goalkeeper coach is doing stuff, he could talk about other stuff.
Don't people just tend to get so paranoid that...
I think it's a good idea.
I'm not saying it's not a good idea. I'm just saying that.
That's the reason why, yeah.
You probably don't... We have a lot of really weird thinking in football, which other companies or other... you have to look at all those sports. The sports do it all the time. And this is what something we talked before, is that I remember when Glenn Hoddle brought Ireland Julian, right, it was a bit weird, wasn't it? And she wasn't maybe the right person to do it. But what he was trying to get to was actually the right thing. What he was trying to do was actually get the players to talk about their problems. And it was probably just the wrong generation, and she was just the wrong kind of person. But when
and get them in the right frame of mind.
But when Thingo came, Ian, what's his name? The doctor called it, he'd done a book about you and a chimp in Liverpool. Right, so
I know what you mean.
So he was a psychologist basically.
Yeah.
And he basically would go in and just be in training and just watch people through their behaviour and body language, and then they'd go in and the players were very open to it because they'd all decided that, you know, if that 1%, it's like when gigs come through and gigs started doing yoga with the Nevilles, and they were like, everyone else, excuse me, were laughing at him. He's like, hang on, this makes me 1% better, and that 1% means that I can skin the fullback. Then isn't this where?
Or last till I'm 40 in the Premier League.
And then and it's like
now it's accepted now.
It's like when Wenger came in and he said, yeah, what we're not going to do anymore is drink, because that makes everybody terrible. He said, well, we're not going to do big meals because that makes you feel full. Like I watched on Friday, I was sitting in ours, I was just looking for things to watch, and I watched this documentary about being a vegan, basically, and it was this guy who was a UFC fighter, and he was training, and he got both of his knees smashed in, couldn't do anything, he was off his pins for like 6 months, and while he was recovering, he was like going through the process, and he was like, I need to quicken this up, I'm getting sick of this. So he started researching, and the more he researched, the more he found the plant-based diet was better for him. Anyway, it's a good documentary. It's actually produced by Jackie Chan and Arnold Schwarzenegger. But this British guy, the guy who's going through it all, this UFC guy, who's not in UFC anymore, and basically went to see it. There was loads of different stuff, and there was loads of proof and loads of stuff in it. It's like, like eating meat and getting your blood test and seeing how, and when they do that spinning thing, and seeing how cloudy it is with meat, and then it was a meat burrito, and the next day having a bean burrito, and the next day did the same thing, and there was no cloud in it, and he was like, so a cloud, normally see your arteries get clogged. He said, that's what clogs it up. It was horrible to watch, and there's been loads of different stuff about it, but we can prove it was all wrong. It's just nonsense. Anyway, long story short, they go and see Conor McGregor fought Nate Diaz a couple of years ago. He got beat. Nate Diaz come in a week before and beat him. Wasn't supposed to fight him.
And before the fight, Conor McGregor had been ripping this lad because he said, because he's a vegetarian, this lad is funny because he smokes loads of weed, right? But in the UFC you can basically get away with anything.
Yeah.
And also he lives in California, it's legal.
Okay.
But he was like, he was a vegan or a vegetarian. Conor McGregor was like, I'm going to rip these to pieces. I eat 2 steaks a day, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he gets beat. And they get an interview with Conor McGregor, and he's like, he's being not Conor McGregor, he's being the real person, and he's like being humble, and he's going, so what was the stakes? He said, I got in there, and I was full. He was just, I had no energy. So this fella's been eating stuff that is good for his body, and I'm running around eating like steaks. He's like, you know, and he said all these things that we used to all think that were like part of things you had to do. And there's a big part of it where like sportsmen are like in Siggy adverts going, after a hard game of baseball, Johnny Smith, like, and then it's like when was it Ty Cobb or someone else got throat cancer at like 50 and died. Like, all these things evolve, don't they, where we all get better and better and better because we're cutting down on all these things that we all thought were stupid, and that's one of the things, you know, all these different things help. Eventually we get to that point, so short story long, that one.
It was that. I mean, people are saying our voices have slowed right down and now they're really deep. So it must just be the process. We're only doing about another 5 minutes anyway, if that's the case. Mark G says, okay, of the following, Pickford, Keane, Sigurdsson, Schneiderlin, Token and Walcott, how many have a future at Everton beyond this summer?
Pickford does. Keane probably does. The next 3 I don't think do. And Walcott is, he's 50-50. I only say he's 50-50 because of his age. And if they get an offer, I think they take the offer. Yeah. But I certainly think Schneiderlin, Sigurdsson and Tosun, if they got offers for those players, they let them go.
Without a shadow. If you got offers for 4 of them, mind you, Walcott's doing well at the moment. So.
Steve Kelly, I couldn't go vegan, and there's one really important reason why I couldn't go vegan, and this is genuinely the truth. Vegans can't eat orange twirls. That's the truth. I got told from hand tools.
I like chicken, so I couldn't go vegan.
I like the chicken.
I couldn't.
But I think food, actually meat replacement stuff's getting better and better all the time, and I genuinely believe we'll get to a point where meat replacements will be as good as meat.
Well, if that's the case,
that's fine, isn't it? Like, there's a lot of, let's not get into it. I wouldn't mind eating, like, I'm trying to eat more chicken now than I was eating more red meat, but now I'm trying to eat more chicken.
I don't really touch red meat, to be honest. I have it now and again.
I'm trying to get away from going back to chicken. Yeah. But it's hard, if they and I think will be, I think in the next 5 to 10 years, because there's demand for it.
I had corn a few years ago for a bit. But it's just not. But you know, if you're having it in a stir fry with everything, it's nice.
Have you seen
but
the other one for like stir fry for what's it called? That jackfruit. That's a big thing now. It's the fruit, right? Yeah. This fruit that you get again like India, and it's not a new fruit.
Yeah.
But no one had any need for it, and it was like it grow, and it's a massive, massive things, and it's like when you open up, it looks like a brain, like it's all gooey, but when what people realise was if you put that in instead of like shredded beef, it's got the same texture, and you can just put the flavours in. So that's been a replacement.
Flavouring,
it's because it's got the same texture. And this fruit that was worth absolutely nothing, and people were like just basically cutting down all these forests because I'm sure it's like it was basically treated as like a what's the word I'm looking for?
What are you looking for?
What's the
like a pest and all that?
No. What's the when you put up in your garden?
Weeds.
It was basically treated. I couldn't think of the word.
All right.
You basically.
You didn't even give me a chance.
Treating it like it was like a weed, and now it's like a huge thing. So
amazing.
We are finding them, but but no one else tells me.
Lucas had said our voices are so deep. I mean, Lucas, for all you know, we're deliberately talking like this.
But if we were deliberately talking like that, then you'd be like...
We didn't say that slow. You said they were deep. Ped, did you see the video going around the club they have on their website? Member access only with a silver question.
Someone sent it me before. I like the principle of it. don't like the fact that it's a members only thing.
Okay.
But listen, what they have done now, they have put a snippet on socials, and that's good. But I don't understand why you have this members thing, says the people with Patreon channel. But that's not their business plan. This is our business plan. What this is that new Umbro gear. Oh, it's
the Umbro gear.
Oh, it's
boom.
nice.
Doug Hulton says, I hear what you're saying about mentor. Surely the specific coach, let's say our goalkeeper coach, for instance, isn't he supposed to be playing that role already? If he's not the man keeper go-to for advice, isn't he supposed to be a mentor as a coach? If these coaches, such as a striker, goalkeeper, defence specific, isn't doing it alongside coach. Yeah, but Eric, what we're saying is, if you're working with somebody every single day, and you're closing angles and you're catching and punching and blah blah blah, you're getting that advice every single day, aren't you? Whereas if you had someone like Neville Southall, for argument's sake, coming in with Pickford, Larsell, whatever, Stecklenburg, all sitting around chatting about different things, how you're feeling. And the other thing as well is Everton's goalkeeper coaches, they're all Portuguese.
What about
right? And I don't think Jordan, bless him, is the brightest light in the basket. But if he had someone like Neville Southall, he comes in with a different voice and says, boyo, says like, Jordan, listen, what about this, or what about this, or how are you feeling about that? He might be able to say, you know what,
I mean,
this or that, I don't know.
Man City employed guy who's basically Pep's counsel, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
So
the water polo fella.
You know, and that, if you watch the Dortmund documentary, you'll see that Sama comes in, and Sama comes in, sits down, and just basically goes, no, this is not right, this thing's not right. You know, I've looked at this, and you know what, it's not working. But people at the club can't see that it's not working because they're all too close. Or the coach, whatever, is like telling people, like, you know, you go into training every day, he's like, oh, you do this, coach needs a bit more, you should coach, do that, and this guy comes in and goes, you need to do a bit better. Because what he's saying, because if the coach, put it this way, right, if the goalkeeper is not doing something, right, then the coach is partly responsible for that. So he might want to even pull that up.
Exactly.
You know, it's self-preservation is what I'm saying about people look after their own
But
jobs.
having a mentor who's just a consultant almost, it's a different thing. Surely we all want to get better, so we want all of our players to get better, so the club should be using, a Marco Silva maybe, or whoever, should be using every little thing, the 1%, like we said before, to help us.
Neville might walk in and go, sits in a room, no one, what, they go, yeah, this and that, Neville, I know what these are like. These can be bastards, but you do stuff right, and he might just go, it's like everything, isn't it? Neville might see things that, or someone, a consultant, might see things that are glaring and obvious to them, but because it's the coach, if you spend time with anybody, you start sort of, you don't notice their faults.
No.
You know, otherwise you wouldn't be married to me. You don't notice the faults, you just go,
you're taking on.
I'm prepared to live with that. That's just part of that person. And the faults just become part of them. If someone from the outside comes in, they just go, I've noticed that you're taking that little step before you free kicks taken or whatever. And the coach might be, and it's not, then the guy can go back, whoever it is, can go back to training and go, right, I know that in my head, I'll stop doing that. It's no reflection maybe on the coach. I just need to do that myself. It's not always about coaches, like mental side of things.
This is the thing. Let's just quickly read through these before we finish. Teddy Sass says you both sound like Big Dave Price. Well, you know what? It could have been worse. He could have said Pete Price. Lucas said, I watched the Game Changers documentary, and after watching it, I've gone plant-based. And in my training and sports that I do, I've reached another level.
Oh, if I was a sportsman, I would definitely do it. If I was a sports person, it's because what's interesting about this documentary is that, like, the way they go, the food industry is just now like the cigarette industry. They're sending people out to confuse everybody by saying what's good for you, what's bad for you, and all the rest of it. But what they're not saying is, they're not saying that you or me should completely stop. What they're saying is you're a sports person, because that's what it's about. You're a sports person, you shouldn't eat any meats. You just shouldn't. We're not actually made for meat. No. We're not made for it. So, for me and you will go, well, I like bears, and that's fine, because it to us it's just food. But to sports people, it's fuel. There's this guy in it, the one who does his knees, you know those rope things where they do that? Yeah. He goes in the gym and the record's 10 minutes, and there's a wall with your sign, and he's done 10 minutes, he's done an hour and a half. on his first go after completing so long being a vegan. He just walks in and just goes, I've got loads of energy, tell me when to stop.
Don't, because I'll end up not eating meat anymore and being plant. You'll come in the studio next week and I'll be doing one-fingered press-up.
But that's the point, it's like if you want to be, everyone in it, who's a sports person, is like, I've only seen massive positives.
Don't, because I'm going to have to watch it, and then when I watch it, I'll be different.
Because what's good about it though, because there are people, if you go put the hashtag into Twitter, there's lots of people going, who've done YouTube, going, I completely can tell you everything that this is not true. But it's like the old thing, isn't it? It's like, the best thing they say is, they go, this thing about, you get all your protein from cows, and they go, where do you think cows get their protein from? Grass. And he goes, they're just the middlemen. And they've always been the middlemen. He said, what we found out was all Roman gladiators were all vegetarians.
Right, let me finish with the...
It's really good.
Sea Logic 1991 says, Diaz eats fish and eggs, but I think it's all about balance, and the meats that are cheap in supermarkets, that are factory farmed, are bad for you, all about moderation. Well, everything's about moderation.
No, but tell you, I mean, is that what you just said, Teddy, what bollocks are you talking? Honestly, watch it. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's true for me and you. What I'm saying is for the people on this documentary who are at a high level of sport that are saying once they cut meat out of their diet, their performance has gone through the roof. Because what you're told as a sportsman is you need protein, and what they're saying in this is you don't need protein because the protein comes from plant-based food in the first place. But for us, it doesn't make a difference, apart from clogging your arteries, which might make a difference sooner or later.
Makes a big difference, yeah. Owen Park says, weird how we win against Norwich and we're on the top half. The league is awful. But the league is awful because Leicester are second. That tells you how bad the league is. So there you go. But that's football. It's about getting points. And what I mean by Leicester being second is no one thought that. So it's showing you that that league is not great, is it? But you know what? Let's make sure we win against Norwich and we are in the top half. Then we can continue to look up, can't we? I'm not going to answer these, but I'm going to read them out because people have took the time. But Steve, Baz, you mentioned an experienced striker. Any place you'd like to see? I'll deal with that tomorrow, Steve. But he would be one. T-Logic 1991 about the mentors. It's not manager. Is it not the manager's ego that gets in the way of former players coming in? Well, it's about wanting to do the best, and if it gives you a better chance, you will be seen as a groundbreaker, wouldn't you? Basically, if you brought them in. Mark Zobel, player ratings roundup. You asked for this. Few of you. Tom Davis, the highest rating, 8.1. Schneidlin got the lowest rating, 6.0. Silver's rate was 6.9.
If it's not then, he's not playing.
Okay. Davis won man of the match vote with 75% of the vote. Holgate was second. Davis is starting to Davis is starting to run Mina close for the highest average rating this season, but Mina has played twice as many matches. The full results you can find on the Patreon Discord forum. If you are not on the Discord forum, go on it. If you're a patron, it's full of like-minded people. You can disagree with people without them calling you a knobhead, which is always good. Gary Wall said, no way I could go vegan. I'd have to give barbecue. And
I couldn't go vegan for the simple point of predation.
Yeah,
there's so much stuff hidden in food that I couldn't deal with.
Teddy's telling you the documentary's propaganda, and T-Logic has said, I've watched it, it's vegetarian, and are vegetarian through the week and eat meat at the weekends, lads, just a healthier diet. Well, that's absolutely spot on.
Who's the propaganda from? I'm sure the meat industry's got a lot more money. I mean, it's fine, I'm not bothered, do what you want. The simple fact is, right, it's like anything, I do believe I eat meat quite a lot, but I do believe if any of us ate just plant-based, we'd all be healthier. The same way as if we all had clean water, we'd all be healthier. If we had beautiful oxygen, we'd be healthier. Anything that's like contaminated is going to make it a little bit, but contaminated stuff's nice. Meat is nice.
Meat is nice.
I'm not arguing that point.
Meat is nice.
This thing is about sport, that's what I'm saying. About the top level.
You know what else is nice? Me going home for me tea. So thank you for joining us from the Live Buildings.
Don't change him. Just because I told you to be a vegan. I hope my voice is really deep. We've had some good times, we've had some bad times, but we're going home for me.
I don't know whether I am, but see you later.